And welcome. I was ready to go in Spanish. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to another episode of Deportation Defense Live. Let me get us started on Instagram also. And thank you for being here and welcome. My name is Otis Landerholm, and I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And thank you so much for joining in today. Hello, everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. We're all over the place today. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. My theme for today is, can a person apply for asylum twice? And so we'll get to that. And so thank you for everybody who submitted your questions. If you have questions as we go, feel free to send them over. All right? Feel free to send them over, and welcome and thank you. And I really appreciate your being here on this day, the 10th of January of 2023. So remember, the Deportation Defense Live is here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants who are facing deportation to make the most out of immigration laws, to make the most out of their lives, and to win their cases. Like, are you facing removal in immigration court? Do you know somebody who's facing removal in immigration court? Because if so, you know that it is not easy. It is an uphill battle. The laws are against us. And here at the Deportation Defense Live, we're here to maximize your chances of winning that case. All right? So today our theme is, can a person apply for asylum twice? And thanks to everybody who asked their questions. We'll do this topic in English first, then we'll do it in Spanish in approximately 30 minutes or so. We'll start it in Spanish. And then, we'll take it one step at a time. All right? And so before I get into it today, before I get into the theme today, there is there's immigration's back in the news. Seems like it always is. But, it's been in the news this week. Perhaps you've seen it, all right? President Biden is invoking Title 42, all right, to continue to deny people at the border access to the United States, even when they have a lawful right to re-enter, and basically using COVID-19, and Title 42 allows him to basically say that the pandemic is the reason to prevent people from entering. Even if the pandemic is sort of like I don't know, is it still a major threat? Right? I don't know. So it might just be a pretext. But so that's been in the news. Something else has been in the news, right? The Biden administration has passed a similar parole program, similar to the program that we've seen since March of last year, the Uniting for Ukraine program. But now it's been formally passed for Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, which we saw previously also, and Cuba. All right, so if you're a citizen, or if you are a national of Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba, and if you are not in the United States right now, but you're outside and looking to be paroled in to the U.S., hey, check out the news. There might be an option to be able to do that. And if you are a person from any of those countries, and if you have some kind of lawful status in the U.S., even if that's DACA or an asylum applicant or TPS or any of those any type of status, then you could very well be able to petition or sponsor a person from any of those countries to come in on this parole. So if you have more questions about that, please feel free to reach out, all right? That's the news. That's happening, all right? And so now I want to get into the topic. And the topic is, can a person apply for asylum twice, all right? And the short answer, the answer that, that the newbie immigration attorney will tell you, that is true, but the short answer, the quick answer is no. All right, a person cannot apply for asylum twice. In fact, the law prohibits an asylum application where someone previously applied for and was denied their asylum case. We call it the previous denial bar. All right, there are various bars to asylum. So if you previously applied for asylum and lost, no, you cannot apply for asylum again. However, it is more complicated than that. All right, it is more complicated than that. And I'm going to give you 3 scenarios where it's more complicated. Okay, so first scenario is that if your case was denied before, but you have new arguments, new facts, you received a new death threat, a coup happened in your home country, something crazy is happening in your country where now you're afraid for your life again, for maybe for a different reason. All right? You can't apply again, but you can move to reopen the first case, all right, and fight that first case again, even after all these years. Maybe years have passed. Okay? The law allows for motions to reopen when there are changed country conditions, changed circumstances in your life or in your country that kind of revitalize your arguments for asylum. Got it? And so even if you lost a case in the past, there are ways to reopen that case and to fight again. The second scenario that people might think, hey, am I fighting my asylum case twice? Well, the second scenario is when you file a case, quote unquote, affirmatively, which what's that mean, everybody? What's it mean? It means you're not in deportation proceedings. You're asking affirmatively. You're asking to come out of the shadows affirmatively to apply before USCIS for asylum. In that instance, you're not applying twice. It's the same application, but what you can do is, if your case is, it's not denied, it's quote unquote referred. If you can argue your case in front of the asylum office, if for whatever reason they disagree, all right, they don't deny the case. Instead, they refer the case to immigration court. And now you have an additional opportunity to present additional evidence, to present additional arguments, and to explain your case one more time in front of an immigration judge. All right? That sometimes feels like you're applying for asylum twice. You're certainly applying with new arguments and making arguments and explaining your situation and why your life would be in danger if you were to go back to your country. You're explaining that twice. All right? Technically, it's the same case, though, so it's not like you're reapplying. Okay? So those are 2 situations, and then there's the third one. The third one. You ready for it, everybody? All right? If you're just tuning in, my name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration. I'm really grateful for everybody wherever you're finding me. And if you have questions, I'm about to get into your questions. If you have questions, please send them my way. I'd love to answer your questions. Carlos on my team, if you're watching, I don't have a YouTube channel up. So if you get questions on YouTube, please send them my way. All right. All right. And now we've talked about the first 2 scenarios when it might seem like you can file for asylum twice. All right. And now we'll talk about the third scenario that's kind of in this situation. So the third and final scenario I want to discuss today is if you argue asylum, when you file for asylum, you can argue other laws at the same time, withholding of removal and relief under the Convention Against Torture. All right? The previous denial bar that I talked about that says you can't apply for asylum twice, all right, is a bar to quote-unquote asylum, yes. But it is not a bar to those other 2 laws, It's not a bar to withholding of removal, and it's not a bar to relief under the Convention Against Torture. So here's where things can get interesting, all right? And we received this question. Imagine a person applied for asylum in the United States, and imagine they lost, and imagine they were deported. But then they go back to their country, and something really bad happened to them. They were attacked, beaten, killed, death threats, torture, left for dead. Something really bad happened to them. And then they re-enter the U.S. unlawfully. Got it? Fight for asylum, lost their case, were literally deported. After being deported, have new death threats, new violence, new attacks. You ever know somebody in that situation? That situation does happen. All right? The law prohibits them from applying for asylum that second time, since they already fought and lost. But the law does allow them to apply for withholding of removal and relief under the Convention Against Torture. And that is possible. And my office has done that. My office has won that. It is a solution that's out there for people that have received and been the victims of serious, atrocious violence. Got it? You got to know that it's possible. So there you go. That's my more complete answer to the question, can a person apply for asylum twice? The simple answer is no. The more complicated answer is, well, sort of. In certain situations, sort of. It's not technically applying for asylum twice. It's either reopening an asylum claim, right? Or it's fighting for one of those other laws that's not technically asylum, doesn't have all the benefits that comes technically with asylum. Instead, it's withholding of removal or relief under Convention Against Torture, which is a legal protection. It does allow somebody also to apply for a work permit, right, in the U.S., but it is not the pathway towards citizenship that normal asylum provides, okay? That's it. That's the way it works. So thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Hope it was useful. I really appreciate it. Now, I've gotten a couple of questions. I'll answer them, and then we'll wrap up today, okay? So my first question, my first English question submitted was from Colette. All right, so Colette, thank you for asking your question. You ask, is there a possibility for someone to file for asylum after staying in the United States for 5 years? All right, well, this is a great question, Colette. I should do a whole episode on this. Asylum has a 1-year filing deadline. We call it the 1-year bar, okay? There are 2 exceptions to the 1-year bar. One is this: if there's exceptional circumstances, which basically means, hey, bottom line, Colette, we've got to know why there was a delay of 5 years. And we've got to explain it, all right? Was there an exceptional circumstance in the applicant's life? Were they sick? Did they have COVID? Did they have surgery? Did they have cancer? Did they have some kind of serious trauma? Was there some issue that prevented them from filing? We can also make that argument if they were a minor. We can also make that argument if they were maintaining lawful status all those years, all right? I'll do a whole episode on this. That's a great topic. The second scenario is, was there a change in circumstances in their home country just right now, recently, within the past 6 months, that could allow them to apply now? Those are the 2 scenarios around the 1-year filing deadline. And if they have those scenarios, then yes, it is possible for someone to file for asylum after 5 years. And if the government disagrees with our arguments, they can deny asylum, but they might still be eligible for withholding of removal or relief under the Convention Against Torture, because those 2 laws do not have a 1-year filing deadline. Okay? Something to know. You got to know it. Cool. Colette, thank you so much for asking that question. I really appreciate it. The next question I see here comes from Gary. Gary, thank you so much for asking your question. You say, hello, sir. Please, I want to know if I can be allowed into Canada. Ooh, I can't give advice about this, Gary. Sorry about this. I'll read your question. Hello, sir. Please, I want to know if I can be allowed to get into Canada if I have a fake visa. An agent collected a huge amount of money from me, but someone said Canada might let me in if I seek asylum. Please guide me, sir. I'm scared. I'm left with nothing. Well, this is a horrible situation. All right. So, Gary, I have no idea. So, if it's a fake visa, I mean, they're going to have to deny you at customs, and typically, you can apply for asylum. I am an attorney licensed to practice law in the United States, licensed to practice immigration law in the United States. I'm a certified specialist in immigration nationality law in the United States. I am not licensed in Canada, all right? I cannot give people legal advice on how to immigrate into Canada. I just don't, I don't have that certificate, right? I don't have that expertise. So, but what you're saying is a really nasty situation, Gary, and I'm sorry that you're in that situation. And the truth is that, there's a chance that they could deny you entering even onto a plane to go to Canada. And there's a question of, okay, could you apply for asylum once you land? I do know that asylum law exists. It's international law. It does exist in Canada. But I would really highly recommend consulting with a Canadian asylum lawyer, which they do exist, and you should check for that. Okay, my office fights for the rights of immigrants here in the United States, or wanting to stay in the United States. So we are not authorized to do it in Canada. All right. So, but thank you both anyway for asking your question. I really appreciate that. Hello to my friends here on Instagram, RMG by the Bay, Lupe 007, hello, Baya, hello, I think I saw you there. Everybody else tuning in, I can't see everybody on all the other platforms, but hello, thank you all so much for being here with me today. My name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. If you still have a question, all right, please send it over. I'd love to answer it at a future. We can upload those to our YouTube channel. The best way to see those is to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and to give us a thumbs up and to hit that notifications bell on YouTube. Give us some love, right, on YouTube. That'll help our YouTube channel perform. And thank you all so much for being here. And of course, if you have an immigration case or an immigration question, please feel free to send it over. We are here to help. We would love to help. Please feel free to call us as well. We'd love to help you with that. All right. Bea, I see your question coming through here. Bear with me. Hello, I have withholding. If my I-130 is approved and they sent me a master court. Okay, I don't see the rest of the question. And Bella, I don't have time to answer it right this second because I got to start doing my episode in Spanish. But send me the rest of your question. I'll answer it either first thing next week or I'll upload it specially on a video to YouTube. Okay? So thanks, everyone. Take care. Again, Otis Landerholm. See you next time on our next episode of Deportation Defense Live. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.